Welcome to the Virtual Strategic Solutions Virtual Reality Simulation System. Accessing Legacy Dataset. Files loaded, simulation ready. This vault was constructed under the orders of Hugo Stoltz, a member of Vault-Tec's board of directors, and his wife, Cassidy Stoltz. They felt that war was imminent and wanted a vault that would give them the greatest amount of power that they could have in a post-apocalyptic society. However, they recognized that the Vault-Tec board would not allow them to build a vault all for themselves unless it had some greater benefit to the company. As such, Hugo and Cassidy pitched Vault 63 as a research facility for various technologies that could help Vault-Tec establish and defend its own post-war societies. These projects included weather control, using assets and personnel from the government's shuttered Atlas program, as well as the creation of special Vault-Tec Guardian robots, using research stolen from the Department of Defense's own large-scale robotics project. The vault's construction was also controversial, as Hugo's business decisions made the community of Dark Hollow Falls resent him as they were driven off the land. Hugo claimed he would allow the community space in his vault, and they tolerated the construction of Vault 63 under this condition. As with the other vaults, Vault 63 was sealed sometime around the Great War in 2077. Hugo also betrayed his deal with the Dark Hollow community, as he did not allow them in. The vault remained sealed by 2105, as the tunnels leading out were damaged by earthquakes, and the main door in Dark Hollow Manor requires a two-way joint authorization. The vault was still in the process of being constructed, and the residents were not immune to radiation. Those who survived the radiation were transformed into ghouls, rendering some of their survival concerns moot. However, they quickly discovered the costs of ghoulification when some dwellers began to go feral, one of the earliest being Hugo's brother August. Symptoms of feralization were so common that practically everybody personally knew someone who was suffering. Already personal for Hugo, the crisis worsened for him when Cassidy began showing signs of turning feral as well. The entire vault quickly shifted gears to researching ways to reverse, or at least prevent, feralization. However, despite their best efforts, only one path showed any success. By pure chance, it was discovered that exposure to the weather control machine in the meteorology sector could briefly alleviate the effects of feralization. Not wishing to lose Cassidy, Hugo secretly activated the vault's unfinished weather machine in 2095 at full power. While Cassidy was prevented from going feral, she was put into a coma. However, the act still had major consequences. It transformed many of the vault residents into feral beings known as Lost, who began attacking their former friends and colleagues indiscriminately. Hugo was also turned into a Lost, but retained his sanity, having been the one who activated the machine and thus subject to the full mutation. Even with the huge cost and the limited success at saving Cassidy, Hugo was still devastated and wished for a way to save his wife. In 2105, Hugo activated the machine again in an attempt to cure her, although he also admits he was aware it could kill him, something he was not entirely against as he felt he was living a solitary life. The second activation ruptured the nearby land and caused a massive electrical storm. The vault residents who were highly affected were contained in pods in hopes that their condition could be reversed someday by a cure. Cassidy, however, apparently responded to Hugo's will, even following his footsteps and making eye contact. This also made Hugo believe he could act as a vessel to unite the minds of him and anyone who could become lost. He wishes to activate the weather machine a third time, so him, his family, including daughter Audrey and niece Hilda, and all of the other Lost will be mentally linked. Hugo views this linkage as more important than their ability to have free will. Vault 63's entrance wing is located inside a small cave in the ash heap near Mount Blair, the entrance of which was concealed by a one-room shack. Inside the shack were several junk items. The door across from the entrance opened onto a small balcony with additional junk items, while the door to the left of the entrance led into the cave. Outside the vault door was a functioning terminal that divulged about the vault's status, saying the vault door was sealed and that the status of the vault itself was normal. In 2105, following the second activation of the Vault 63 weather machine, Vault 63 suffered significant damage, A pressure build-up inside the entrance sector caused the door to blast open from the inside with such force that it flew all the way onto the highway north of Sutton in the forest. The exterior shack that previously hid the vault's entrance was also completely destroyed. Much of the sector also caved in, leaving only a few rooms past the vault doorframe still accessible and briefly occupied by Lost, who had managed to escape because of the destruction. The access control terminal still functioned, although it had been damaged alongside much of the other equipment in the cavern. It now reported emergency messages about what had happened to the vault. The vault's main entrance in the ash heap did not lead directly into the vault itself. Instead, it served as a railway station hub, from which vault entrance would be able to travel to all of the other sectors of the vault built, which were built throughout the Skyline Valley region. Built underneath Dark Hollow Manor, the family home of Hugo and Cassidy Stoltz, the Atrium served as the administrative center of all of Vault 63, including the offices of the Overseer, Hugo Stoltz, and the Chief of Security, James Oberlin. The residential wing of Vault 63 was also hosted here, as well as a clinic, a nuclear reactor, a garden, and various amenities. As of 2105, the Atrium is home to the last remaining dwellers of Vault 63 who have not gone feral or been turned into Lost. The organic sector is accessed during the quest The Powerhouse of the Cell. It is filled with Lost, and the corpses of Vault 63 dwellers, security and scientists can be found throughout the sector. Upon first entering from Shining Creek Cavern, there are several side rooms. To the left is a locker room with a feral Lost. The security room, identifiable by the dead vault dweller outside, has a locked safe and a terminal, which unlocks the tram station outside, the large door. Only the station platform is accessible, which has little loot apart from a note, "Handle with care," attached to the train car with several brains lying on the ground. The next room is the foyer, which is filled with Lost. The foyer has various crafting stations, a weapons workbench, an armor workbench, and a chemistry station. The foyer has doors leading to the various wings of the sector, but upon first entry, the only way forward is to head through the laser gate at the far end. Past there is an elevator to Hilda's office. Hilda Stoltz can be found in her office during the Powerhouse of the Cell. Hilda's office has a chemistry station and a locked wall safe, as well as Hilda's terminal and a Carlisle typewriter. There is also a Vault-Tec bobblehead on her desk. After talking to her, the Vault 63 Chem Wing card will be received, allowing access into the pharmaceuticals wing. The greenhouse is a cave with 3 Lost dwellers, who are killed as a quest objective. A chainsaw can be found on a wooden crate near the entrance, while the cave gate key, which unlocks a fence gate in Shining Creek Cavern, can be found in an empty planter in the dirt section. To the far end of the greenhouse is a large pipe with a dead scientist next to it. The pipe leads back into Shining Creek Cavern, but is initially inaccessible. Collecting the sample from Henry during the quest will unlock the pharmaceuticals R and D wing. The right side of this hall leads into the pharmaceuticals research room, which connects back to the wing entrance. This room has 3 chemistry stations and a serum mixer test used to create serum alpha during the quest, with a vial of toxic goo nearby, as well as the corpse of a Wanamingo. The left side of the hall leads to Clinical Trials Chamber 1, which leads to Test Chamber 1, where the first sedated Lost test subject is found. A nearby room has a locked drug testing terminal. Dealing with the first feral Lost test subject will make the pipe in the greenhouse leading back to Shining Creek Cavern accessible. At this point in the quest, the player character will need to go back into the cave and collect 3 unusual fungi samples. Entering the area during the quest will also cause the player character to experience severe auditory and visual hallucinations, including ghostly whispers and apparitions of hostile shadows which appear and disappear out of nowhere. These shadows take the form of various creatures, including super mutants, scorched, deathclaws and mothmen, but generally do little to no damage and disappear upon attacking or taking any damage. This effect will persist after re-entering the organic sector and does not disappear until later during the quest. It will not persist if one exits to Appalachia or another interior cell, but will reappear upon entering Shining Creek and/or the organic sector. The human biology wing can be accessed from a door on the first floor of the foyer. It is locked and requires the Vault 63 BioWing card, which is obtained after talking to Hilda once returning from Shining Creek Cavern with the unusual fungus. There is one lost in the room down the stairs, and Biology Lab 1, which contains a single feral lost, can be found to the left from the stairs. This room has all 4 Mad Ramblings notes, as well as concerned about Victor. One of the beds in the corner of the clinic has a feral lost. The clinic has a door leading to fluid handling, which is locked and requires the Vault 63 fluid handling card, obtained after listening to Hilda, once the feral lost subject with serum beta is killed. Fluid handling is a large room filled with lost with a river of radioactive green liquid flowing through the middle, along with a large vat of the liquid. Up to approximately 20 rads per second can be taken by standing near the liquid, and standing in it will also cause damage. The vat storage control room, marked VAT Control, is found further down the hallway and is populated with 3 lost. It also contains the 3rd sedated lost subject, later revealed to be August Stoltz, to whom Serum Omega is administered during the quest. A larger inaccessible room can be seen through the window in VAT Control after administering Serum Omega, with the lights turning on to reveal many rows of lost sedated in vats. Vault 63 maintained a number of other facilities throughout Skyline Valley as a result of Stoltz Enterprises having purchased much of the land around Shenandoah National Park. These included the Hawksbill Weather Station, which housed the Vault 63 meteorology sector underneath, but was also home to other projects such as the Storm Goliaths, as well as the 3 surface research sites, Bavaria, Rhineland and Saxony.